Good evening and welcome. So it's Random Wednesday, and today we are going. It's Wednesday, right? Yes, I think it is. We are going to continue with the Modulus. I was a little bit in doubt with Modulus, and I'm still in doubt about it. And I think it's a part of the reason is that I just played Shapes, and it's very much the same sort of idea, like the essence of it. While I've also or am also playing a lot of Captain of Industry, and that's just such a different feel. Um, like Captain of Industry is just the more I play it, the more I want to play it. And then I released the video yesterday, and it was absolutely atrocious reception. So like it was, I don't know. I have no idea. I was kind of hoping that, oh, I haven't been doing anything Captain of Industry, so maybe the people who've been following the series would be like, ooh, finally some more. But it was not. And I actually have another episode recorded, but I didn't want to release it today because it was like, well, whatever. Um, so, but I do think that I want to continue to play some Captain Industry on Sundays, and then the rest of the week will be for something else, whatever the rest of the week means. Usually that's 2 other days, and we'll see at the end of today. We'll see if Modulus has sort of picked up or sort of got me more hooked, or if it feels a little bit more samey. I think my um, the part about Modulus that is sort of not really getting me hooked yet. I see it had you hooked enough to continue to eat. Yes, but there's also like there's different kinds of getting hooked. There's the hooked of, oh my god, clear the calendar. I must play this all the time. For example, Blueprints. That was like, clear the calendar. This is it. Or there's the part about like, oh, I don't really have so many things to do, so I guess this one is good enough. And I'm kind of there. I'm still. I would say I'm more undecided than I'm in love. And I think that if we compare it to Shapes 2, which is natural, there are some things that are more advanced and more interesting, like the whole cutting things, and you can sort of build your own shapes, which I'm. So it's not Against the Storm. Oh, I love Against the Storm. It's just not very fun to play. I love it. I love that game. It's just unfortunately not very fun. I love Against the Storm. It's such a good concept. It's well executed, and it's just not very fun, which is awful, right? Um, yeah. So yeah. So if I'm comparing modules with Shapes 2, then something I'm just looking at the screen right now. Um, like a lot of it is like, oh, there's no pressure. You have all the time in the world. It's free. It's free to build stuff. So you're gonna build something and you're gonna copy it. But the thing is, like, where Shapes 2 has infinite space and everything looks the same, or the module, the resources look the same. So when you sort of have a blueprint, you can just stamp it down and get the resources. You can't do that here, which means that you're going to be ending up spending a lot of time just trying to get those corner resources optimized to go onto belts that then can go into a factory, which I'm like, that's such a silly thing to spend time on. Like, it's not fun hooking up like 1 2 3 4 go, 1 2 3 4 go, 1 2 3 4, oh, it can't, I need to go. Like, that's not fun. And those are the kind of things where I'm like, um it those are the kind of things. And then I do also think that since there's so little space, and each build takes quite a lot of space comparatively to how much space there is, then it is not really lending itself to, oh, I got a good design, copy paste 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 paste. It's more like copy paste. Oh, there's a lake. Okay, well, maybe I can squeeze two in if this one is half then and this one is rotated, and okay, then I can squeeze three of these builds in, or something like that. That's kind of the feel I get, which is like, yeah, eh, because when we sort of left off, it was like, oh, I need more, and I started looking at the previous steps and go like, I don't want to redesign this, and I can't really, I don't know, it's right. And that's the that I feel maybe it's because I'm also looking at it that I have 5 certificates for additional platforms, and maybe what I'm building now on 2.5 platform should actually just be like, oh, let me build a new platform and do nothing but, I don't know, cores on this one. I don't know. That's the thing I haven't really figured out, and I do feel that there's some elements to this that they haven't really clicked into place yet. And that's the kind of thing where, for example, if you take Against the Storm as well, there was something that was like this idea about like you could build the same thing in multiple different ways, and some were more efficient than others. It kind of bugged me, and I was like, oh, that makes sense because you don't know if you always get this, and now it becomes part of going like, oh, do I want a lumber mill so I can get easy lumber, but then I could get something else, and then lumber will be a little bit more expensive, but then I would also have access to some other material, and then that becomes part of the optimization in a game, and that's the part that in Against the Storm makes every playthrough slightly different. This is also why I really, really love Terraformers, because it is a city builder roguelike, while Against the Storm has this balancing like Darkest Dungeon, where it's like you feel that you're losing all the time, like you are so close to losing, and that's a little bit frustrating. While in Terraformers, it's actually more like it sneaks up on you, the losing part. While you are not sort of, you can be about to lose, but the gameplay is still exactly the same. While in Darkest Dungeon, if you start losing, you might not lose now, but you have lost. It just takes an hour to actually lose, and that's also why how it feels in Against the Storm when you play at appropriate difficulty, that you're sort of, you feel that maybe I have lost this, or maybe I can just pull it back in the last second. But it always feels like, am I just wasting my time because I have already lost, and I'm not good enough at the game to realize that I have lost. And that's not great feeling. It's much better to feel like, oh, this is great. I'm building a city. I'm good. Oh, fuck, I lost. Oops. Oh, yeah, I wasn't noticing that this counter was going towards 0. The game is figuring out bulk creation, using larger than 4x4 cubes to make multiple shapes simultaneously. Yeah, I'm not there. I am not there yet. But I do see that could be an option. Yeah, I don't even know how that would work, because I mean, obviously I'm in the beginning, so the shapes are not very complicated, so it's also like, would that make sense? Or maybe that's exactly where it makes sense, because they're very simple, so it's a matter of how can you bulkify them. But I think that's actually just you mentioning it just gets me started down the line of going like, oh yeah, so instead of making like one production line and then copy it, you could maybe make one production line with a bigger shape, and then sort of at the end you have the shape, and then you cut it, and now you actually, that would be the same as that you consolidate it, but then there's a bigger shape that goes through all the steps of cutting and painting and whatever, and then at the end you have a shape that's double size, and then you break it up and finish it, and then that might actually be a different way of approaching it. That's good. It's a good point. It's something that you just have to think about it in that way. And Shagon, thank you for the 90 streak stream. That's really nice, really impressive. So it's definitely a game that I'm undecided about, but we're going to be chugging along and just figuring out how we can improve this. I'm not really sure I'm playing it the right way, so you're very welcome if you put tens, 20s, hundreds hours into this, then feel free to come up with advice. I don't want to be sort of holding my hand all the way through, but like stuff like, hey, you can actually combine a shape before you start cutting it, and then you maybe complete multiple shapes at once. So I got like, oh, that's a good idea, because then I can think about the execution of it. Yeah, 195 streak. That is really very nice. Well done, Davidka. Very nice. I must be streaming too regularly, I guess, if it's possible. Closing in on the 200. I'll be starting random streams at random times just to screw with you, but no. Because there's like a little thing, like maybe some of the people who have like these insane streaks would be like, I lost my streak. Fuck it. Now there's no point in showing up anymore. That would be sad. So let's try to be as reliable as possible, at least communicating when I'm streaming and then actually streaming. And if I cancel, and I notify that I'm canceling, and if I am making a bonus stream, I notify. So Discord is the place to keep track of. This is where I always announce it. Like the Discord, the Twitch schedule is just all up in the air. Like, it could be anything. But by now, it's pretty regular that it's Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday that are my regular stream days because, well, the other days are busy. There's 3 stream days, and there's 3 rope days, and then there's 1 day of partying. That's kind of my evenings. That's my life. So that's how you split 7 days, 7 evenings. I was kind of thinking about, like, should I be starting to stream on other days, like at other times, and I was like, oh, I don't know. You have mastered balance. Yes, I do. Until you start streaming your roping. Oh, I'd love that. But not really on Twitch. I'd love that. It is one of those things where I'm like, I keep dreaming about it, but it's probably never gonna happen. Because it'll just be, yeah, it'll be too weird. But it could be interesting. So I think that what it would require would be me having like a regular rope partner who would also be into streaming, and then sort of that could be like, hey, wouldn't that be fun of just like having a collaborative stream where we just talk about stuff and then we tie a bit and we talk about some more stuff, and like that would be really awesome. Like half talk show, half streaming, we're streaming and half talk show, half a rope. I think that'd be fun. But like having a rope session and you have some talk before and talk after, that would be amazing. But I have to find the right person. Yeah, and the right place and the right platform and all that stuff. So it's one of those things. Sometimes you have dreams. Like I 10 years ago, I dreamed about living off of content creation, but oh wait, that did actually happen. So sometimes dreams can actually come true. So if you just get pushed down the stairs to sort of get started on it. So a nice puns to use here. Yeah, I need someone where this binds us together, or that kind of thing. Like or I'm a little tied up right now. It's like the tired puns. Yep, and good to see you, Timbo. Of course, it's nice. Yeah. So it's one of those things that I would love to. I would love to do that. And I think like at least I would love to have like one session that I recorded, like not a sexual thing, but just like some cool ties and some transitions, so that all the people who go like, I don't know what this is exactly, and they could see like, go like, holy shit, this guy's good, as in like, oh, there is a certain skill to it, and I can like, and I would bet that a lot of you regulars, you would be able to see like, oh yeah, city blocks or something like that, right? Any Factorio mods you'd be willing to do a video of? No. Or is Factorio going to fade? Well, it is. It's waiting for 2.1. Same as Satisfactory is waiting for whatever the fuck is going on there. And Dice the Program is waiting for the other half of Dark Fog. And until then, we have lots of other cool things. And if I really, really want to do something else, then I don't know, like the new season of Bingo Brawlers has started, so now the itch to play Elden Ring has come back. Oh man, I love that game. So, yeah, Binding of the City. Like, no, I think that you'll recognize my aesthetic thing. Like my teacher, who is insanely good, world renowned. He is. He's always like, when he comes to see me tie, he goes like, because traditionally Japanese, you break the symmetry because symmetry is boring. So it's always like, instead of like having lines straight, then you just have one line just crossing the other ones just to break the symmetry. It's traditional Japanese. And me, I'm like, now if you have a tie, then you just tie the same. Like if you do a lacing on a leg, then for me it's about sort of spacing has to be equal and the knots have to be the same and like all the angles have to be the same, and it'll just like totally crisp. And that's like, Sabine is like, yeah, but now you do this and then you just tear it out of shape just so that you sort of break the symmetry, and I go like, go away. That's not how we do things here. It's just our yeah, one nut off. Yeah, yeah, too efficient. Yeah. Yeah, Bingo Brawlers is so fun. I would recommend watch if you are interested in Elden Ring. Then the best kind of Elden Ring content is Bingo Brawlers. Um, Satisfactory keeps coming with updates that aren't really interesting. Although it looks like vehicles are at least usable now. The quantum vehicles, they don't work when you look at them, which is so fun and so frustrating and so stupid. But I get why it is like that, but it's the worst case of sort of I don't know. It's just the worst. It's just the worst. Like I made a vehicle path. It works, but if you look at it, it breaks. Which is like that's an urban legend or urban myth or something. But in Satisfactory, it's actually true. It's like the water doesn't boil when you're looking at it. You sort of have to turn around and then it boils and then it's all over the place. Like that kind of thing. Like, yeah, but in Satisfactory, it's actually true. That that the truck system will not work if you're looking at it. And the reason why is because when you're not looking at it, it's not moving, it's just teleporting. So it just teleports from location to location. But when you look at it, it actually has to do with the pathing, and it fucking sucks at it. The pathing that works a lot better now. I haven't tested it myself, how much better it is. Yeah. So the train system probably still unusable. I mean, it'll be unusable because I'll edit something and then I'll press the X button and then it'll have saved it, or maybe it won't save it because it's different from menu to menu, whether the X means save and exit or it means cancel and exit. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I'd love to play some more Satisfactory again, and I think it would be fun to do. But I also am a little bit sort of cautious about the tedium of the grind. Because I would play from the beginning because I think the beginning is really well crafted, and there's so much fun in sort of unlocking new things, but there's so little fun in going around and finding all the Mercer spheres and all the summer sloops. So it'll be, but there'll have to be something to draw us in, otherwise it'll just be the same. That's the thing, right? At some point, I will have sort of, I'm gonna say perfected, but I've sort of probably better to say refined my way of solving a game, and then it won't really fundamentally change anymore. Random map generation helps. Random map generation in Satisfactory? That's interesting. Didn't... It was added recently. What? Random map generation. Oh, like, just the, resource nodes. Ah, right. Okay, I was like, the map? Speaking of different games, have you seen Windrose? Looks Valheim with a facelift, but with Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I just did. I checked it out. Oh, well, I didn't check it out, but I looked at it and I could see all the buzz, and I was like, yeah, maybe that could be a thing at some point. I don't know. Yeah, so if the resources are changed, I don't know. Maybe that's uh, I don't know what that would be or how that would impact. Um, I think it'll be a little bit different, but then it'll be like, oh shit, there's no sulfur. Oh, we're fucked. Yeah. Just asking since you've been into Valheim. Yeah, I did like Valheim and Icarus for that matter, and I think I could also play that, but I don't think that it fits right now with what we're doing. So yeah. Anyway, what fits right now with what we're doing is Modulus, so let's jump on into that. Whee! Cool. Let me know if this I cranked up the music because it's the most quiet music, which is unlike every other game where the music is always way too loud. So we'll just do this. Okay, so I did double up this part, which is a basic core facility small. And that means whatever we get for an 8? 8? Oh, it is coming in as twice the speed. Oh. Yeah, we have double that. Yep. So we're now producing 30 per minute plus 30 per minute, so it's 60 per minute, which is nice. That goes into the harvester pad, which is not correctly placed. Can you actually have multiple harvester pad for the same thing? No, already. Okay, so no. Oh, X to that. Let's relearn the mechanics. This one is needing... so if this is producing 15 out, then it's actually consuming 30 inbound. Because it's 4x out, 8x in. So that must be twice as much inbound as outbound. So there we go. This is also updated as much as possible. So we get half of all of this goes in here. And then that is some shapes. It does not look right, does it? What was the... I don't know what's going on here. So this looks like incredibly slow. I don't get this. Like trying to sort of wrap my head around how this works. If this is outputting 15, then 4 is equal to 15. So that has to be 30 and that has to be 30. So I need to produce 30 of each outbound. Am I doing that? Like this one is 30 outbound for each, but it's not because I only have 15 inbound. So if I could double the input, it would actually work twice as fast. It's actually just a lack of all modules. I think they're just sort of uneven. Like there's a little bit of buffer over here. But then this is the part that I'm not super fan of, because now I would sort of need to get another one out here, and then I'd have to... That would be a furnace. Yeah. So I would get 30 outbound here of these chunks in an awful way. E for movement here. That one. Because all of these, except that one. Oh no, except that one. Shoot. Because all of these got updated to 30 per second or per minute, and except these are still 15. So I'd need 2 of those to keep it at ratio, because we're a little bit of an... There. Let's try that. Hello, Randomax. Good to see you. The splitter takes the wrong side input. Oh. Yes. Thank you. That's going to be abundance of the other ones, but whatever. So now it should be working better. The other thing we want to do is the basic processing plant, which makes gray processes, and that would need That's weird. If 12 corresponds to 40 per minute, then that is 20 per minute inbound. Huh. And then that would be, this is so weird, right? Because then it's no longer at a ratio of 15 at all. There's some of these black elements here because they're still too slow. That little match, and this one has to be doing the same thing. T for rotate, like that. This one somehow also has to be there. Like this would now mean that it comes in at 30 per minute for each, which isn't working. Then let's kill all this. This one. Yeah. And you are gonna get trained here, and here. There. That should make this one flow a little bit more smoothly. And we also have a milestone that's being worked on, these ones. And when that's done, we can take this render build out. And what do we have here? This is working through the gray process. And it has now completed it, and it'll just go in here and get us some points, a lot of points. So I don't really want to deal with this anymore. Like, this is whatever it is, and then this is a milestone that we can remove later on. So we should take a look at what is the next thing we want. Tech tree. So there was something we were kind of waiting for, and when we had that, we could do something like advanced processing length consumes advanced cores to produce blue process, or we could do produce twice as many basic cores. The problem with this one, advanced cores consumes advanced cores to produce blue process. Let's take this one, right? It's this one, and this one. These are the two we want. So I think this will be the one we want to try. Ugh, man, that's expensive. But let's see, consumes advanced cores to produce blue process. Let's go on another island that we can. This one has oil and blue, but it doesn't really have any other resources. So, I mean, it has here, but I can't get this out because I kind of boxed this in, which sucks. Here's here's like a little island that has. This one we got. We have oil. So if we could buy this little island, which has resources on it, we could maybe get the resources over here. This one also has a delivery thing. Okay, so what is it we want to do? We want to make this new building. So let's try and sort of make that. Oh, music is getting more prominent. Okay, we need a bench, a blue bench, and then we need something here. These two items seem to be the stuff that we just cut out of that one. And then this is something else, 64, so that's a 1 block size. This 88, this is more than 1 block size, and this is less than a block size. This plus this is 128, so that's 2 blocks. So basically, we are going to be taking 2 blocks in and making this plus this at the same time. It looks like that shape. If you look at this shape here, then the stuff we cut out is exactly the stuff that goes into this part here. So what I think we want to do is we want to stamp out a 3x3 shape, turn that blue. No, put 2 shapes together Yeah, let's try that. So first we make 2 shapes. And then this one is, we'll figure that out. Should we buy this island? There's also some hexa thingies. Sure. And see, this part, I don't get this. Like, this has already stopped being fun to set up, and now it just looks like this is going to be our life forever. So, what? Oh, no, this is the hexa thingies, right? Yes. Then I have to take the next ones. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That one. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. The belt you should be able to combine 8 per belt, unless the miners also have speed upgrades. Yeah, but I don't remember what the hold-up for that was. Allow linking of up to 3 buildings to 1 harvester. Okay. Skylines connected. Crane reach. Yeah, this belt is it's blue things, plus it is level 7. So those are the reasons why we don't have it, and it's a little bit out of reach right now. Okay, so that is, if you look at this one, basically we need 1, 2, 3, and the question is, should I try this part where I try to build it immediately as double size? Because I could just say like, no, Does that work? Yeah. And then we do furnace here. And then we could combine these into 30 per belt each. That would be sort of my initial take on this. And then we need to get it over here to have somewhere to build. So that means we need to get a... like this. 1, 2, 1, and... Actually, technically, we didn't need to do it this way. We could just leave the whole thing on a belt and then split it out afterwards, because this belt is 60 and I'm just putting 30 on each belt. But again, don't think that matters. So I want to make it, get these one in as fast as possible so we can actually get something. So this would give us 2 times 30. And I want to design towards the 30, so these... Maybe I should... Maybe I should put these together first as a... So what's the speed that it comes out? It's at 30 per second. So this is the shape that we're going to start with. Then what is the first thing we want to do with it? We actually want to just paint it. No, we want to cut it and paint it, which is maybe something we can do on this island. I don't know. Maybe that's also silly to do it here. Oops. The hotkeys are still not sort of settled in. Oops, that's also incorrect, like this. Yeah. So now the next part would be a stamper. And what I want to stamp out is this shape. You are continuing, maybe? Yes. And then you are going to be the blued one, so we need a paint. Oh, I can't even do the paint here because I need oil, so this is irrelevant. Oh, I forgot I could do this. Or, not forgot, but didn't know I could do this. That's going to be like the first thing we do on every... There we go. Ah, that felt good. Okay, so now we need to make some oil. So oil makes a dye mixer. How do we do that? Oil, yes, and blue pigment. Crafted in basic refinery blue pigment. Yeah, but I also need a blue pigment factory. Where's the blue pigment facility? Oh, I need these to be... There, basic refinery blue pigment. That one. Because now I have to build all of this again. Hello, I'm listening to the stream background. Sounds like cut, shapes, paint, mixing. So what's this game about? Same as shapes. Cutting and shaping and building new shapes together here. Hello, Dude in the Park. Good evening. Okay, this gets me... This honestly just knocks me back a little bit here. So what we want to do is this one. But we can't do that because we need blue paint. Then... Not only do we need to do the shape, but we also need to do blue paint. Okay, so blue paint is... This is a blue mixer, and that needs some blue pigment. Blue pigment plus oil, so we just need some blue pigment coming in here. Now, obviously, I could take it from the previous one, but it's just not producing very much. So I would need to go like... This is the stuff I still haven't figured out. Like, should I basically take this island and go like, haha, this is a blue pigment factory. It does nothing but blue pigment. And then the next factory will be something else. Because I have this one making blue pigment. Yep. And it is producing a total of 15 per minute. Like, that just doesn't cut it. It goes over here. And that goes in here where it needs, who the hell knows? 7.5 plus 7.5. So all the stuff that is produced here gets consumed into these two. Which means that I would need to double this one to even get anywhere. Yeah. Which would now be this is kind of a neat pattern, but it's also just Yeah. It just... I guess you can put it on the mining island and transport the pigment to the main island to convert it to paint. No, I don't think I have enough space for it, because this has to be redone. Like, there's not enough space for that here. Yeah, you can cover the whole thing, but the problem is that I've now upgraded these to 30 per minute, but this one is still 15 per minute. So I would need to copy this, yes, but I would also need to redo it so that each of these are doubled, which is not really, I guess, not a massive thing, but it just means that it's not ready. It's not just easy to copy paste. And I would need to get, like, if I build this, I get exactly 15 pigment. And one line is going to take 7.5 pigment. So I could basically, with this build, I could color 2 lines of 15. Which is 1 line of 30, which is what I have. So like this entire build, I have to replicate it in here, just so I can get the pigment. To fit on the miner. It absolutely does not. It absolutely does not fit there. I don't know in what world you think this could fit here. Because you also need the routing from all these locations. This is... And sure, and a little bit. There's no way this fits here. Like, it's no way that it makes sense to try to fit it in here, at least. Yeah, this is the stuff that I'm distinctly disliking. I'm gonna go from undecided to being distinctly dislike. Because I've designed it once. Now let me fucking copy paste it. I can't, because this shape here, even though I made it neat, just doesn't fit here. Doesn't fit here. It kind of has to fit here. But then I'm kind of using the entire, like half of this giant island just for the pigment of one of the sub things to build. Like it, plus the build is not great. Like it's not great. It's built at a poor ratio and it only delivers enough to 1. So it's not like I can go, like what I want from a factory game is design once, apply many times. I can't do that here. So if you just adjust it to 30 per output, you have enough for 2. Yes, but then I also need 8 lines inbound. Which is 8 times 4, which is 32 of these. So I need 32 here. And how many do I have? I've already counted 16. I probably have 16 more. Which means that the entirety of this little island is just doing pigment. It's not even doing the build. It's just doing the pigment. Like this can't be right. It feels so wrong. Like it feels so wrong to do that. All the water and neatly orders the miners. Yeah. It's so I'll try one more time to articulate my gripe here. I've designed it. I built something that's relatively neat for the tech we have. Then we got an upgrade, so now this is out of balance. This means this is producing 15, but it could, if I fed enough in here and I did some small tweaks, it could do 30. But if it produces 15, then that's enough to produce 15 pigment is enough to produce 30 per minute of this. So I'm thinking, okay, so that means this is my aim. So I would need this entire build just as an input. That would be 16 belts here for this one. 16 belts, which have to be set up, have to go in here, all of that stuff, go in here, just to get the pigment. Then the pigment has to be added oil, go in here, into this build. Then I would then have to do all these shapes, which is another build, which is like the new stuff. That's fine, that's new stuff, but I would hope that I have now built something once, then either I can copy paste it to somewhere else because, oh, I need this module, copy paste. Or I could scale it up so that I could draw from this one into many different islands. Neither of those are options, and I'm kind of forced to redesign the whole thing again. Or at least take this one, readapt it, so that it actually can support a little bit more than what it's doing here. And the cost would be that now I've basically used the entire island for just making these. Right? And I just... it doesn't feel right. It really doesn't feel right. It's just... I don't get it. Yeah, I thought modules would imply modules. Instead, it seems to be modulo number that don't divide evenly. Yes. So this is my issue. The Blue Pink Factory has 4 input lanes, but those can suffice for another blue pigment factory. No, looks like there is plenty of input materials being in queue. Huh? Yeah, I don't know why these ones should be 50. Cranes should be 15, but it's this one that's not coming in, which I don't get because that should be 10 plus 10 plus 10. That's 30 coming in here. That the pigment should be fine, right? The pigment's coming in at 30 per minute, as in 10 plus 10 plus 10. Yet it's still struggling. I don't get that. You know max distance? No, I would imagine it's same island. I mean, it could just be the fact that this one is just all the other things were stuck because I used to have 2 and then I upgraded to more and then it's sort of the other ones are sort of backfilled, but they're still consuming it. Can't link to a building or produce different items than was previously linked. So it can. Okay, so we can link it across here. That doesn't really answer the issue. I also don't know these ones how fast they are. But for sure, that is not 30 per minute on the belt. If it's 30 per minute, you should be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Yes, I agree. 10, 10, 10. Do we agree that that's 30 per minute? Unless they're all working. So that's definitely 30 per minute. There is no doubt. If the tooltip is correct. And then, if we're looking at it coming in here, 4. And the other ones are now ready. And this one is not ready. Now it gets there. Like, the ratio set clearly says 30 per minute from this one. And this one says 30 per minute. And it's still lagging. So I'm like, I don't really trust it. But I imagine that it might be sort of, no. Each crane is 15 per minute, so I have 1 crane coming into this one because I only need half of it here. Which one's that? That doesn't make any sense. Like this one should not work. right? This one says 88, so that's 30 per minute, and I only have one crane, and it's still keeping up. That should not keep up. Now I would expect this one to be the one, this shape to be lagging. Oh no, there's two builds. Right, it's the same build. No, that's the... Ah, right, it's because this build here is the black flat shape, and that's because there's two builds. Okay, good. Okay. So, what have we learned from this? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. And yet it is still lagging. We just reset it and it's still lagging here. And then when it resets now, okay, the other ones are kind of a little bit ahead, but not much ahead. But it's already at, it is twice. See, the other ones already. It's just weird. Like, it just doesn't. It's not correct. Something is not correct about this. This is the stuff that is a mortal sin for a factory game. If you can't trust it, I don't give a shit about a game. Like, remember the crust? What a piece of shit that was, because you just couldn't trust. Everything was just like a little bit off and just not really working, and the tooltips were off, and then it didn't eject things properly, and like, so anything you tried to do at ratio was just not working. But this should be so fucking simple. How the hell is this not working? I don't get it. Like, it is so simple, so basic. But anyway, it also doesn't matter because I still have to find a way to make... If I have to make this again, should I copy paste it and then just accept how awful this is? Or should I try to sort of redesign it from scratch? I know the time I've already spent on this is too much, but like, would it be something... Like, that's a big surface. This is kind of something. This is also kind of something. Like... There could be like an argument for making like a big thing where this is like 4 squares. And then we make it 4 times as big. This one could be at least 2 times as big and then made easily. This one could also be 2 times. Well, you know, we could build all these shapes so that at the end of the step, they'll just be cut in half. So this would be 2 blocks that are colored black. This would be 1 colored black, 1 colored white. And this would also be 1 colored white and 1 colored black. And then... put it in. The cranes are the pieces that are ready to pick up as soon as they're made, but the ones that are still in cooldown. Yes, I was thinking something along the lines. Okay, so what if we do something, we do some design, and then after we do the design, we'll kind of, yeah, whatever. We'll just try and see if this makes any sense. So what do we need inbound here? We're going to be redesigning this one for the pigment, and then it'll be like industrial scale pigment that we can stamp down somewhere else if we need it, I guess. Or maybe we can sort of have it from both sides going into this one or whatever. I have no idea. So we need 2 + 2 + 2 shapes. They're all 64, which is 1 full shape, and then I just double it. The question is then, do we double it as in it's 15 per minute in a double size? Like, this is one of the double sizes that's coming in here. And then how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Eh. Can't even do that. That's one belt. And it's just not good enough. Like, this is me trying to make things in bigger scale, and it just turns out that that's not even possible. Because I can get 4 more belts. 4 more belts out here is just one more shape. So the entirety of this mining island is just this one plus this one, but not even that one. Come on. I can get 8 belts out of this. That's pretty fucking miserable. Like, so are we not supposed to build at scale? What are we... Like, I just don't understand how we're supposed to play this game. I really don't understand it. Like, no matter what I try and go like, okay, let's do. And then it's like, nope, that's not how you're supposed to do it. Like, I don't get it. Like, I suppose this is 16 plus 16, right? Yes, this is 16 plus 16. So this is also just a few belts. Keep in mind the shape ratios are not 1, 1, 1. Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, so 2 of this, 1 plus 1. But this still sucks. Okay, I need to step back and explain this problem again. So now I was saying, okay, so if I have to build this one again, let me at least build it in a bigger scale. So now I start making the bigger scale, and then I realize you can't even do that. Like, this entire island can kind of make this. Kind of. But then I don't even have... I need to find another island just to make the other the shape. This is just for the pigment. Like, it just doesn't make sense. No, mining speed is not upgrade. It requires blues, and it requires level 7. So it's not... that's mine. Oh, mining speed. Ah, right. I don't know where mining speed is. It's somewhere. I have no idea. Miner speed there. Also requires blue. This is what we try to work towards, and I'm just not getting it. Also, the ratios are super difficult to figure out. Because everything is like, this is 4, but it's also 15. So you kind of have to keep in mind that 4 is equal to 15, and 8 is equal to 30. Sometimes. Except if it's double, then it's 8 is equal to... Yeah. Okay, so what would be the equivalent of this? So this one is now a belt of... Did I want to combine shape? I don't know if I want to combine shape. I don't know what I want. Okay. This is now single shape coming in at 60. I can do the same thing for the other ones, right? So now I can get 2 belts of 60 inbound. And if I go up here, then I can take the 60 in here. And then I can take the 30 in here and the 30 in here. Okay? Then I could take the 60 in here. Could also be a double shape at speed 30. And then there would be a double speed a double shape at speed 15. Let's just give us some breathing room. So this one has to now be consolidated into a double shape. Oh, the first ones are already double shape. That's cheating. Yeah. So the first thing I need to do is split it, assemble it, and then when I assemble this, I get a double shape for this one. This is coming in at 60. It's coming out at 30. And then this one will then be here. And then it goes into be color, monochromatic colors, monotoner. So this is now 30% per minute coming out. And these are now a black shape. That has to be cut and collected. So we get a cutter that's here. Cut. See, I can't do that because then it comes out at too fast of speed. So I have to do this, put it back on top of each other, and then slice it and then go in. Reset. Good. So this is now coming out at 30 per minute of the double shape. Then I need to cut it again. And then I get the final shape times 2. And that's now 60 of these shapes. 60 per minute because it comes in at 30, it comes out at 60. And this will now need to go into you. You have 6 cranes. So I can't fucking do that anyway. I need to put it into 2 different ones then. Because I can only get 3 products in at 30 per minute. Unless I find an upgrade here. There was an upgrade for this one, right? Crane amount. And if I use all my blues to get that, which is a stupid thing. Blue floor. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Undo! Fuck. Okay, never mind. So this is now a belt of 60 per minute of one of the shapes. Good. Then I'm going to take the other one, which is start by splitting, because it's going to be 30 on each. So this will be the 2 separate builds that will then go up here. So, model viewer. We're going to make this shape. I wonder if it's... I guess just one of the shapes should change color, right? Because it's kind of the same shape, right? If I make... Yeah. Okay, so here we split it, and then I split it again. Because this is 30 per minute, and then I monotone it. There. Good. So now I need an assembler. So what is it we want to do with these 2? Well, we put them next to each other. That's kind of Kind of not what we want. No, I think we need to slice and dice them first. I think we need to make them like 2 full flat surfaces. And then we just put them together. And then we can cut them apart into something. Yeah. So we need to sort of separately say cut and split and assemble. Okay, so cut here. It's coming in at 30, so I can, this is now a full belt out. And these ones are now here. And then I cut, reset. And then I split and I assemble. And then I basically need to do the same thing for the other one. Yes. 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 Okay. And now I need these two assembled back together. There. So that's...
Delivery target complete. Rank up.
Hey, level 7. Okay, so now I need this one to split because this will be both shapes. Here. No. It won't actually be like this. It'll be, first I need to cut it, and then by cutting it, I'll actually have the one of the shapes. There. That's one of the shapes, right? This should give us a notification. Oh, right, it's because it's not a new one. So that's already one of the shapes. Then I need to split it. One is just happy, and the other one still needs to do some more stuff. Here, that needs to split out. No. That needs to cut again. Like this. And then it needs to split and assemble. So those 3 are now the ones that have to go in. But then I'm like, how do I make this look nice? Any insights that came in between? No, I still don't think that it works. I still don't think the game works. Misplaced the last assembler. Uh-huh. Why? It looks correct. And so the next logical thing would be, how do I then take this shape and compact it so that it would be something where we can like, oh yeah, I need another one of these. Let me just copy paste the existing one. It doesn't really do anything for us, does it? I can take this one out, and the only thing I could do was being this one here. Kind of. Because I need 4, and this one needs 4, and this one also needs 4. That's actually not the worst way to set it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then drag that out there. Oh, misplaced the last assembler. That's what you mean. Okay, cool. You're right. Ice cream sandwich. So I think this thing here is quite fun. It doesn't feel particularly space efficient. Like, it would be nice if this one could sort of be jammed into this, but maybe it can, but then it would be like very difficult to figure out what the hell is going on. Okay, so auto upgrade. And the other side of it is that this is actually just taking 32 lanes. And we need to sort of wait for it to upgrade. Yeah. And then it's upgrading again to level 3. So I think this is a pretty cool design. We can see that the belt is moving continuously, which is a sign that it is working at the max capacity. And voila. Good. So production level is completed. 4 pigments. It's now coming out at 30 per minute. Was that also what we expected? Yes. And 30 per pigment can paint 60 per minute. So the issue with this, like, I'd really like this one to be sort of placed in here. Is there no map? Oh, there's a kind of a map. I'm just trying to see if these blocks here are recurring. They're not. So I think there's no reason to sort of think there's anything magical about this size here. Okay, so what do we think about this? Like, okay, we got it. Now what? Now the whole thing, this one was actually just to make this one, but we can't make this without the blue, and the blue is not here. So we're gonna need to get another island that actually has resources on. This one has resources on it. So I guess we buy that one. Yes, I want to demolish this. And there's even oil on this island. This is a really good island. What is this? Oh, solarite. So actually we shouldn't use this. We should wait for using that until we actually have some solarite, whatever that is. So maybe this one? This doesn't have oil. So what are we doing now? I'm going to get this a little bit further over. Nice that moving it is really easy. So now we need an oil deposit, or let's see, we need to add some paint for this thing. But first we need to get stuff inbound. Let's look at these here. So this is the new shape. And this is receiving 20, 20, 40. I have no idea how to do that. So this is double. So if we get the same amount as this one, which is probably what we can expect, so that means we need to tap 32 builds, get it out here, get it into 2. That's going to come from this one, right? So now we have to tap 32 of these little miners to consolidate it. Like this is like Dyson Sphere program, which is also like a super frustrating thing to spend time on Dyson Sphere program, right? Yeah. That's half. Good. Is this correct? 1, 2, 4. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And one more. Lo and behold, that is all we can do. Damn. Oops. Ah. Come on. Yeah. And then I need to get... What? Oh, crap. That's a max element. Skylines. We need more skylines. Skylines per island. 8. Okay, so we now use a lot of space here, and half of the resources just to get these 2 lines over. Okay. Well, that's going to be our next design space here. So, minimap, don't care about that one. Module viewer. So now, this is going to be 1 belt, and this is going to be 1 belt, right? They're 64 and times 2, and this is 128 together. So, and this one needs to come in at twice the speed. So let's start with this one, because this is the one we were starting with, and this is the one that provoked us to do blue. So I like this part of the design. I don't like the, oh, I need to copy paste it, but copy pasting is not a thing we do. So we're getting 60 in here. And then I think it would be valuable to, instead of getting 60 in, get 30 double builds in. Yes. So the first thing we want to do is we want to split it. And then assemble it back as 1 shape. There. That's going to be stacked on top of each other, like this. Good. Now I'm going to do a stamping. Then we're going to stamp out this color, or this part, which will go out here, and that needs to be colored. So there we actually have our first thing. Now we need this to be colored. How do we color things? We're going to do that with a... The painter is the one that... But it needs both oil and... the pigment and the oil, okay? No? It needs the product and the paint. And the paint... This is the painter. Then it needs to mix the dyes. Yeah, so this is the one that deals blue paint. And if I hover over it, it's maybe says something about ratio. 7.5 in, 15 out. And 15 in is 15 painted. And I need to paint 30, so I need 2 of these. This is not something that can be done right here, I think. Yes. But then I need things coming in here, which is less than the ideal. It's not easy. And then this is the oil coming in, supposedly. Where's the oil? This is the oil rig. That's producing 60, so that's fine. Or 2 times 60. And that consumes 7.5 plus 7.5, that's 15, so good. And then this shape here is then where we want to get the pigment. So that's where we want the harvester. No. Should probably make the paint after the blue dye is made and only bring the paint back there. Yeah, maybe. I guess you're right, but it's still like an awful shape, and since it's gonna take the space, I don't know. I don't know, because I can't bring it in by this. This is only from here, so I still have to belt it in. Then I would have to build the blue paint up here, and then I'd still have to belt it and yeah, and I don't know. I can at least bring the pigment in. Then I don't have any long belts. But if I build it next to here, then I have to have a long belt going in. Do we see anything outbound? No, not a goddamn thing. Why not? Why? What am I missing? This is not getting any pigment. Why not? Oh, because it's missing that. Oh! Ah! Fuck. Which means that this is completely useless and cannot work because I have to get the pink dye in, and then I can't get the other ones to work at ratio. Oh. Now I have to get these damn things here. Yay. And how much do we want? We have no clue. Each of these are 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be a full belt of dye. Which I obviously can't get inbound, so... Well, that means I have to reduce my throughput. No, no, and no. In order to get that in here. I think it might be better to try to build 2 of these. No, definitely not. It costs money to upgrade. Or shapes. So... do this just to upgrade it. And then auto upgrade. First build it and then auto upgrade it. And then I have to figure out a way to get this into 2 different things. I guess we could do the allow linking of up to 3 buildings to 1 harvester pod. I really want it the other way around. I want the buildings to go to multiple harvester pods. Train reach 3. Might need that. Probably saved if you... That's literally what I do here. This... I can't save paint if I can make sure that I only paint once, but I can't paint less than once. Combine even more. No, I can't combine even more. Then if I wanted to combine even more, then I needed all of this plus again. And I can't do that because I don't have enough buildings. So if I combine even more, I have to double everything. I can't just double one of the shapes. That doesn't make any sense. I have to double the entire symmetry. And this is 1 + 1 + 2. So I have 1 belt that goes into these 2, and I have 1 belt going into these 2. That's it. There's no way that I can, if I want, and this is already 60 per minute, so I would have to get like 60 in here, 60 in here, and 120 in here. And even then, I'd have to combine it into a giant shape just to make it end, and that would still require me to get another 16 or another 8 lines in here, which would be all the rest of this, which I couldn't get out because this one doesn't have enough inputs anymore. So it's that. Take the stamped shape, combine it on itself. Why? Why what does that do? That gives me a twice as big shape. And then I paint. Okay, so all right, so then it'll be like, oh, it's only transporting 15 on the belt, and therefore it only needs one painter. Yeah. Yeah. That's if you want to say paint, and I think that's we have to say paint. Ugh. Did you get updated? You are now fully updated. Yes. Okay. So now I have to figure out a way to get this into. How the hell do I get this in? So I need. Can I? Unlink. No. Unlink all. One, two, three, four belts. No. Shortcuts are just not my thing. X is delete. X should be cut. E is move. So I keep pressing X because I want to cut the shape and put it somewhere else. But then I delete it. Haven't deleted something yet, but yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 belts. But that kind of doesn't work, does it? No. I'm planning to do more videos in Captain Industry. Yes, I am. I have recorded one more video that I didn't release because the last one performed so atrociously poor. So I'm kind of waiting a little bit so I don't have to take the hit to my pride about something that I was really proud of just did not work. So yeah. Let's see. These cranes, do they even work like this? They'd have to get like... No, it doesn't work. No. I can... This doesn't work either. Because that would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. And the other one would be 1, 2... Why is it not discussed yet? Maybe a big split between this and previous video. Either way, we'll be waiting for more. Yeah, thank you. How come this is so difficult? I need 4 belts into one. Like, one part would be... Like, this one comes in from the side, so that's something. Like, I can't even have 2 in the middle. Basically have to do... And then... Here. And then another one would go somehow... Then the last one has to go out. Now we only need 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven, 8. Okay. And the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just moved one up. I'm spending an immense amount of um uh, of brain capacity on trying to not mess up the hotkeys. Yeah, slightly more compact, slightly less awful, and then that could be. Okay, I'm gonna take a break now. Be back in 2 minutes. Oh my god. Important life lesson is about to be instilled in my daughter. Yeah, it's because I have exam tomorrow morning and I need Word. Do you have it? Like, nope, I don't have Word. But you used to have it. Like 10 years ago I had Word. But mom said, yeah, I don't have Word. I'm not gonna figure out how to get Word right now for you tomorrow. Like, this is not something you do the evening before an exam. Like, what the fuck is she thinking, right? And then she'll be like, oh, but maybe I can use, and I was like, use Google Docs. Yeah, but it's not as good. That's just how it has to be. It's like, it is incredible how you can sort of be preparing for an exam and then just not realize that you need a program. And also, I fucking hate that you have to use a proprietary program to open things as part of a Danish public school exam. Gen Z still uses the word. No, they don't, but the teachers at the school are not Gen Z, are they? So, and it's just one of those things where it's exactly that, where the teaching generation is core millennials. They live and breathe by the word, by Microsoft Office. And it was like, of course everyone has Office. Everyone will just share a PowerPoint and a doc. Like, yeah, well, and it's same thing as my in the old public school was the same thing, where they were always sending out like things that were meant for everyone. They'd send it out as attached docx documents. Or like, that fucking sucks. And yeah, you can probably find some things that can pass it somewhat okay, but man, it yeah. Then if it's something like, yep, you have to write something and hand it in as a PDF, fine. But having to require a license that is fucking expensive on an annual basis to be able to write a document, like, and it's in math, so it's not even like, yeah, I don't know. We could afford paper. Yeah, but I mean, this is, you're also supposed to have, you bring your own laptop. By 8th grade, you're supposed to bring your own laptop to school in Danish public schools. And many schools have school iPads, which I think is a good thing, but yeah. But by 8th grade, they have to have laptops. And if you can't afford laptops, you can apply for to the school, and then they will give you one. But that's a little, yeah. It's, you really don't want to be the guy who has to get the loaner from the school. So it's yeah. But you know, it sucks. But it's one of those things where, like, are you fucking kidding me? You realize that you tomorrow morning have an exam and you don't have the program. It's not. I could hear that it was not sheer panic. It was just like, Dad, just fix. I need this. I'm just called, and because she was certain that her mom had it, and then she was decided that today was a good time to call her and say, "Hey, I need it." And there she was like, "I don't have it anymore. Call your dad." And then she called me, and I'm like, "I don't have it." But. I'm like, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, this is slightly less awful. So let's kill this part. Well, we don't want to kill all of it, do we? Hey, Silver Cecil, thank you for the 200 bits. Yeah, that's actually... It's been 2 days and we haven't had a subscription. This is not good for subscriptions either. Yeah. Anyway. Alright, so this thing here just goes out. And this shape should then be doubled, I guess. Should be fine. And that shape out here. Gets colored now. So this is 60 per minute coming in. This is way too fast. So now it's only coming out at 30, so it's still too fast for this one. So I have to consolidate it again. Oh, come on with that shortcut. So now we're down to 15 per minute. And then I can get this 15. Then, what is it, a painter? No, that's a paint mixer, dye mixer. That, and are the shapes randomly generated? No, they are not. My challenge. These are the challenge shapes that I've done. It's just working. Progression, yeah. These are the ones who are struggling. Well, we have done those. We haven't done any of these. That must be the solarite. Okay, what's the problem here? This, oh, it just needs to choose. So that gets pigment. You're linked to, I guess, that one. And this one is now producing 20? I don't know what that means. I'm getting things in at what speed? Okay. And so now at this point I need to cut it apart just to save the fuel here. So then we need to cut. No. There we go. Oh yeah, it's the smaller size. Yes, there we go. And then I need to... This is 15, so now it comes out as 30 per minute of that shape. And it's still too big of a shape, so I need to cut it again. And then we're up to 60. Which is obviously way too much, but that's this one. There's 60 of these. This is a full belt of these little things here. Which is twice what we need in here. No, this also needs to be stamped out. Oh, shit. Yes, so this needs to be stamped again. The stuff that gets stamped out should be put together with that part here. There.
New module created.
New module created. Oh, that one. Yeah. That is... Yay, we got it. The bench, the blue bench is done. Okay, and this part needs to be combined with you, maybe? Oh, right. Well. So this one and this one have to be combined. Like this? Yeah. And then this shape will then need to be cut. Everything is still 60 per minute. And then this will now be flipped and then assembled back. Yay.
New module created.
Okay, so that's 2 modules. And then we need the last one, which we have here. So let's study this one a little bit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, right. No, I have no idea. Maybe I make it into a flat surface. Then I stamp out the middle, paint that, stamp out the middle of this, cut that into pieces and put it on top. Yeah, I think you're right. Everything is 30 per minute. Yeah. Fuck. I can only do 30 per minute here. I'm not gonna do... let's see. So it's coming in at 60. And then... But, oh right. It's coming in at 60. And then it comes in at 30 per 30. That's the 60 inbound, but it comes out at 30. So this is 30 outbound. And then that goes... Everything else here is 30 per minute. There we go. And then all of it is 30. Yeah, I think it's okay because the first thing I do is consolidate it. This one now is a little bit different because I have no idea how to do this. Maybe what we could do is start by combining this into 4 blocks into one so that it moves at 15. Yeah, let's start that. So this is now moved from 60 to 30, but twice as big. And then I may move from 30 to 15. Then I'm going to stamp it. Yes, and this one, it's coming out at 15 now. And then I can just make it monotoner here. And then I'm going to take, now I have the inner shape, and then I need to stamp it again to get the inner shape again. So I have the outer shape now. Whew. At the middle and use that to make the black ridges. That's also what I'm doing now. So now I want to take this shape here, that's the black middle square, and it's also 4 deep. Then I want to stamp that again. I'm kind of running out of space here. I can move some of it a little bit, but man, that sucks. This is also what I mean, like, then later on it'll be something where it'll say, oh yeah, I can't even remember, we want to be making like, oh yeah, you know, want to make some advanced processing plants, let's whatever the hell this one is doing, and then I'll go, oh yeah, I just need it, and I go like, oh fuck, then I need to do all of this again, because this is not neatly wrapped up, it's just a big spaghetti mess. It's not like, yeah, and I don't think I can break it into operations that could be repeatable. You're gonna go in here. So, what are we stamping? We're cutting out the middle. You know what? These two merge together. That doesn't make any sense. There we go. Ah. There, snap. So then we have the frame. Then this one, it's coming in at 15 per minute. Let's deal with the other one. So this is now a square, which has to be cut. $15, so I can't do this cut. Okay. $60 out, $30 out. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Good. So this is now coming out at 15 and has that shape. So now I need to get this shape in layers. And each layer has to be moved into a layer of this. So each one have to be cut into layers, which means that we get it out as 60. This one. There. That comes out as 60. This one also now comes out as 60. And then we have the problem that we can't handle 60. We have to have 2 identical splitters here. Or at least, whatever. Whatever they're called. You're gonna go in there. You're gonna go in there. Nope, the other way. You're gonna go in here. You're gonna be going here.
module created.
Same. Yeah. And how much is this? This is now 60 per minute coming out. One, two, three, four. And then the other two. That's this one. That actually turned out to be pretty neat, I think. This one. Wow. Hello, Conrad. Mm-hmm. Like, they should also be the same speed. There. And auto upgrade. Like, upgrade is just the first thing we have to do. We didn't even see what the cost of the upgrade was, but whatever. Liking the game so far. I like some parts of it. And then it's wrapped up in things that are not fun. Like, I like the core part of sitting here and taking a shape and then go like, oh, okay, then we cut it and stamp it and they can through the top of each other, and it's like, that part I like. But I don't like the fact that the product looks like this shit. And I don't like the fact that I have to do all of this and all of this just to, like, all of this plus, all of this is just to paint this blue. And then all of this is just to make the product that I actually need here. Advanced cores. We can't upgrade. Why can we not? Oh, I need to unlock upgrades. Wasn't there one that says blue buildings? Blue building, second floor. Ah, 20. Ah, why did I waste those 20? Damn it. Yep, I wasted on the damn cranes, but whatever. I'll auto upgrade whenever I get the chance. I'm missing the advanced cores. So this is not even it. Advanced core facility small. Stop at the nice paint model and compact with the clear input location where you stamp from. Next time you need to paint, you'll have the same problem. But honestly, this is it. I can't make it better than this. Like, this is my paint module, and I could make it. I can twist it so that it takes less space, but then I can't figure out what it does anymore. Like, this is a nice clean line. I go like, oh, okay, it goes in, and I can troubleshoot it. But this, it takes this much space, and sure you can. This one could probably be crammed in here, but then it would be completely incomprehensible. Do you remember off the top of your head efficient path for Q9 iron plates? What the hell is Q5? Q5 iron plate. I don't know what Q5 iron plates is. So, no. Oh, legendary. Why didn't you not say that? Off the top of your head, efficient path. No, there's no efficient path outside of casino. Like the casino is the efficient one. Anything else is pretty shit. I have a video about it. Yeah, but that's the point of the module. Ah. The video is very good. Thank you. All right, but fuck it. Okay, so back to this one. Yeah, that's the point of the module. You don't need to know how it works anymore. You just know it works. Yeah, but I'm not gonna play it so long. I'm not gonna play this game for so long that I'm gonna need this module. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. It's not gonna be relevant for me to do that because I'm not gonna play this game for very long. I'm just not really like I I think that everything about it should just kind of mesh, but it's just like it's a worse shapes. Like some parts of it, like this is unique and interesting, but this is not fun. Like what the fuck is this? And the whole thing where everything is repeating again and again. We're like, oh, then you just make modules. Like, yeah, but I can't make modules. Like, ugh. If it was something like you could have islands that there were different sizes and a little, you could sort of, if it felt like Factorissimo, where you sort of have a small island and then you think about this and go like, I'm going to use a small island for this or a small platform, and you build a small platform like in Shapes 2 or in Factorissimo, where you sort of, I decide how much space I want to allocate to a module. Then I build the module on there. Maybe it could be a little bit more compact, but I choose to use this one. And then I can use it again. But I can't use it again. I can't use these modules again because every single island is completely different and has different shapes, and we still need to do all the routing of all the shit here. And they're like, oh, this one's good, except like, what is this? What is this damn thing? Right? And I'm just, that means that the modularity is kind of shit in this game, because there's not enough room to place them because there's this terrain everywhere. Yeah. Oh, it looks like the double slit. Oh, what is good about it is that you go into a building and then you can manipulate with these shapes, so that you can turn them and flip them and rotate them, and then you can make like new unique shapes. So you look at a shape like this and kind of figure out, oh, how would I build this shape in a fewest operations? And I think that's a really neat idea. But everything around that is kind of not great, because it really sort of, everything it does is tell us that you have to build modules and reapply the modules, and then the next step it goes like, and they go like, yeah, but you can't do that, and if you want to do that, there's a shit ton of manual work you have to do before, and by the way, there's not room for the module here, and it's not really neatly wrapped up. Like, well, then don't tell me to keep doing the same thing. Like, that's kind of how I feel about it. Manufacturing is giant flat grade, but I understand. Well, it's a little unfair to say that, but it's also a little fair to say that. It seems like an arbitrary fuck you from the game to me. Sometimes, like in Captain of Industry, the terrain is an obstacle, but it's an obstacle you can overcome. And it might take a long time, and you might need to plan it, and it might be something that you spend the entire game just leveling this stupid mountain. But you can do it. And therefore, I feel that the terrain in Captain of Industry is part of the game, and it's something that I can look at you and go like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna level you. And the same in Factorio, when you have enough landfill, you just level everything. Or foundations, or whatever they're called in Space Age, right? Like, when you have, like, it's something you can overcome. But when a game does it the way that Satisfactory does, where like, here's a random thing that goes through your base. You're like, yeah, now you're just fucking with me. And therefore, so I think it's the distinct different, like, what does this add? Like, what does this add except annoyance? Like, this doesn't add anything to the gameplay. It just means that, I have to work around it, like, jump over and kind of shuffling around, and maybe I can squeeze something in here. Like, it doesn't add anything to the gameplay, in my opinion, right? It just kind of becomes an arbitrary difficulty obstacle that gets sort of thrown at you without any sort of thing. But a mountain in Captain Industry is resources. This item can be scraped into the ocean, and then we have more factory space. Brilliant. That's much more valuable, right? So that's why I think there's a distinct difference between when something is like fixed and it's not part of the gameplay, it's just kind of an obstacle, or whether it's an obstacle that's part of the gameplay, and with enough tech and time and allocation of resources, you can overcome it. Then I like it. So, yeah. Anyway, we need to do this shape. But we already have this shape. But we also have to figure out how fast it has to go in. It has to go in at the same speed that this is going. So I need to get this at 60 per minute, which I have no idea how that means. But they're equal here. This is 32. This is 48. What did we figure out about this one? It's like, is it this one? No, this is the core modules, this one. Yeah, so we have the design already. But as you can also see, sorry to be so blunt about it, like, this is not something I want to reuse. Like, I'm not looking at this and go like, yep, there we go, copy paste. I'm looking at this and go like, ugh, ugh. It works, but it's fucking ugly. And we need paint in here. Is more of a puzzle game than a factory game. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It did seem like a factory game. I just think that there are some things that are sort of... Like, I have no idea what the... This is the next part. I have no idea what this one's doing. So... I have to trace it first. It splits it into equal parts. Then these parts get merged together to that shape. Then I'm... Oh, right. This is what I'm doing. I'm kind of... Here, I'm getting some part of it out, which will be reused here. And I'm also getting part of it out. Yeah, so the part we punch out here is that thing, which goes over to this. And the part we punch out of this one is also going over here. I don't think that's not how we can do it moving forward. Here I have... I would basically be having, let's say, 2 cubes and paint them blue. And then I'd take the 2 bottom levels, would be this one, and a duplicate, and then I'd have the 2 top levels be cut down the middle and be these 2. So that would mean that 2 full blue blocks, and then what would we have of the rest? We'd also have 2 full blocks of the other one. So we need 6, or we need 2 full belts, which is exactly what we have here. But I can't get it out because Well, maybe I can. We do need some blue colors as well. I don't have anywhere that I have resources, right? I have some resources here for some reason. What is this? I don't know what that. This one has resources. No, but this is the one that has soul right, so I really don't want to use that. Take this. Oh. What? Oh, I actually wanted this one instead. This is much better. Oops. Well, much better. It just allows us to get some resources in here. And then we can use this space for the design. Okay, so back to mining operations here. One, two, three, four. That's 6. That's 4 belts. And then, so it's basically everything here I need. Yeah. Why can you not stamp it on top with a different rotation? Oops, forgot something. Hmm. Okay. One, two, and then I need to bridge across. Okay, so this is why we are just in the phase we all start in the Victoria. Building horrible spaghetti factories that don't scale, it actually takes a bit of time for you on your first playthrough to design nice modules. It's a bit the same here, but also totally understand it might not be worth the investment as Victoria. See, I've seen this comment not often, but often enough that I kind of have a ready response for it. I'm not playing Factorio for the first time. Like my 10,000 hours. Oh, hey, Angeli, it's raided some time ago. Welcome. Sorry, I don't have raid notifications on. So, oh, I have a little kitty outside who really wants to get in here. So we'll rant while I'll bring you the kitty. There we go. Whew. So anyway, no, I'm not playing Factorio for the first time. I should hope that going into another factory game, my 10,000 hours of Factorio would at least make me skip some parts of it. And therefore I am not comparing myself to someone who's played Factorio for the for 2 hours. I should think that stuff that has belts and products and supply chains can be somewhat applied to other games as well. And some games, they just kind of, I think that when what I really like is when the game, like all the things that the game does sort of communicates the same thing. I think Shapes 2 does it extremely well. And then it sort of plateaus when you've done a certain amount of things. But I think that it's, my gripe here is mainly that the game is communicating different things. It's communicating, hey, build once and multiply many times, but then the map says, but you can't, and okay, and you also have to set up mining operations manually every time, and you're sort of constrained by how much you can move around, and it's sort of like, yeah, it seems like you want us to build big, but we can't build big because there's too few like inserters here, the cranes, these ones, the amount of resources available. We can't really build big, but so it ends up being sort of rebuilding the same thing and again, and I think that's my gripe when I don't feel that the game is sort of being consistent on guiding us towards the behavior that they want us to have. Like it seems like the game would want us to make a module and replicate it many times. You're very liquid right now. But yeah, so that's my thing, because I think it's fun to do these kind of tweaking, but it's not fun to do that again. And I'm just looking at it and go like, do I have to do it all over again? I kind of do, because now I have a little bit slightly better way of making it. So, which is of course still the part about the learning of like, okay, minimizing the amount of paint you use is something we. Yeah. Yeah, let's go back to the design. Whoop. Okay, so this whole shape needs half of it turn blue and half of it not turn blue. So that means one of these belts is going to be all blue. I'll do the one that's closest here so we can actually turn blue. It also really weird to me that oops, this one here, like 2x buildings linked, huh? I could link here, but that seems weird. Like I'd much rather have this one linked to more harvesters rather than have more harvesters linked to multiple buildings. It seems like the weird way, because right now this is producing 20 per minute, and I'm consuming 7.5. So I'd like to have the rest of it go over to this one, but I can't. So yeah. Anyway, this one will first thing we need to do is put the whole damn thing together. That's a splitter, that's a sorter, that's a splitter. We'll do a splitter there. And then we put it together. So we get here, that one, and whoop, is it? It'll be on the length. Well, that's not it. Reset. Yeah, good. I think it's unfortunate that the mechanic of this game are annoying because the core concept is amazing. With complex shapes in the late game, the chance to think of the right order of operation opens up such a giant space of possibility. Yes, absolutely. It's not like the optimal way is obvious from the beginning. I love that, and I think that's also what you like in Factorio. When the optimal way is obvious, it's not fun like in Foundry. It's mostly busy work, no complex chance. Yes, I agree. I like that. In this case, I think this is a good example. Like, this looks complicated until you realize that it's this shape here and this shape here is the same as this shape. It's like, oh, that when sort of that clicks and go, okay, I have now a way to do this in a clever way. And I think that's great. They create free build map for nice design build designs. Yes, but I think then it's just not really worth it for me to go into that. Anyway, this is basic core facility, which like this one produces cores twice as fast. Cool, but then we means we have to redesign everything again. We need to get this one, right? Data center can produce blue data shards. Yeah, need gray data shard and blue data shard. Ah, so we need to redo the gray data shards again. Well, this one has to be done because that's the only way we get the blue things. Okay, anyway, now it comes in at 60. We combine it into 2, so it's now at 30. That's still way too expensive for us to paint. So I need to mash it together just to paint it more efficiently. Which means that afterwards there we go. So now it comes in out at 15, but it's a giant shape. Then I want to do this part. Oh, now the music is certainly doing something. This one. No, there and tap. There, good. So that will paint. This one will paint once it gets oil and some pigment. The pigment can only be gotten from one of these. Sucks. Here, and the oil is coming from oil rig. There. So that should get us 15 painted of these shapes, which will now be cut because we don't actually want that shape. We just combine the shapes so that we could paint it cheaper. Which is also like not like super great functionality. I have no idea about these drones, what capacity they have, or maybe they don't have a capacity, maybe they're just like visualization of now they fly back and forth, but there will be a connection. Okay, here, still not getting anything in, why not? How come? Ah, there. We cut it on the middle, and that's the shape we want. Now we're back up to 30 per minute of this shape. And the module viewer. So this shape needs to be cut into that floor, and needs to be cut into these sticks. So it needs to be split. What is the shape here? No, I can't think we can cut it one more time here. We cut it one more time. Slice like this. Yep. Still 30 out, and then what is this? Oh, that's the oil rig. 3. Okay, so this should be, it'll be 2 different cuts. This cut will be like that, and the other cut will be like that. So this is all the blue colors we need. Then we take the other shape here. Let's give it some breathing room so it doesn't bump into the other one. We can always move it. This is the nice part. Like once you build something, you can just build it somewhere and then you move it back to clump it up. Like this part of the gameplay, I like it. Okay, so now we need to work on this shape, which means this is coming in at way too fast. Yeah, it's coming in at 60, so I can't really... If you... I like this shape here, just the box shape, because then that can be cut. But then I'd have to build 2 lines parallel. Maybe that's okay, because one of them's going to be black anyway, but then it'll just be the same. I just don't like building something samey. Then now there'll be 30 on each belt. Here. And that will be into a... First we paint it black, one of them. There. Then we'd have to stamp it. Nope, this is not correct, because the stuff we stamp out has to be white, so this is not a good idea. Okay, so we do this in parallel. Again, not a stamper. We stamp this one out. Yep. And this is now 30 per second, so I do this, and then I paint it. Good. This stuff that comes out here, this is the same, and this will just be combined somehow into what? Into this fence. Yeah. That is... No, this is no good. No, it's no good. Because I am getting 60 in and splits. That is 30 per here, 30 to 60. So it actually doesn't support it. So these have to be handled separately. Or, yeah. Like this. And like this. Kind of annoying that we have to do this. The same thing twice. Yeah. Yeah. So that gets 30 of these out and 30 of these out. That's 60. And what did we have on the other ones? Why do we have twice as much here now? That doesn't make any sense to me. So it's coming in at 15. It's coming out at 30. And that splits into 60, and then... Right, so this is actually... has to be like this, because it's actually coming out at 60 and 60. Good. Okay, because we have way too much coming in. I wonder if I can even squeeze it into this one. Okay, so it is correct. Now I want... the output of this, the output of this. No, that doesn't work. There. I was keeping quiet, but I played until I saw the recipe for yellow paint and then turned it off. Ha! Okay. That's the solarite. Yeah. Okay, so this shape is not actually ready. But it makes no sense. I don't get it. Why am I making it incorrect now? $30 coming out. Oh, right, 30 coming out. And then it's only 15 on the other side. Right, because 30 plus 30 is only 30. This is outputting 30, so it's 15 plus 15 inbound gives 15 outbound. Yes, okay, so 15 plus 15 is that. And then as I split it here, then slice it down the middle. 15 plus 15 is 30, split it, that's 60. These 60 now needs to be merged with these 60? Yes. In two of these merges, right? That one and that one. This is a belt. It is indeed a belt. Here. Here, you are going to flatten. There. That's the shape. So we now have this. There you go. That's the one of the shapes coming out at 60 per minute. Woo! Hey! Ruggles, thank you for the Prime. First Prime today. First subscription today. Crazy. This game, can you only craft items from a list of possible ones? If so, then the point of fine-tuning these machines simply defeats the purpose. What? Can you only craft items from a list of possible ones? Item from a list of possible ones. Don't know what that means. Funny how the Streamlabs didn't notification. Need to get more subscriptions so we can see if that's not working. I think you only needed one of these machines earlier. Here. Yeah, 30 outbound here, 30 outbound. Yes, that's absolutely correct. Yes, let's fix that. Good. So that's one shape. Then the next shape is that's already this shape, right? That's the stick. Yes, we got the stick here. Okay. And then the last one is over here, which now combines I think this one has to be cut. And I kind of want them next to each other so I can sort of get a sense of what's going on here. So if it's coming in at 30 per minute, then if I split it into 4 pieces, I can't keep up with it. So I'm going to have to do this. I like the aesthetic on the sun. Reminds me of Dyson. Okay. I don't like the aesthetic of this one, and it does not remind me of Dyson Sphere. So we combine the shape here. This one. Slice down the middle. So now 30 inbound, and then as I click them together, then it's only 15 inbound. So now I can do this. Now I can cut it down the middle. Here. Because then it's only 30 plus 30, and then that can be combined. And that comes out as... Why does that come out as 30? Huh. Oh, the other ones are also 30. This is also only 30 coming out. Why is this one... This doesn't seem right. If this is 30 outbound, and then I should only have one here. It really is a great game. You just need to forget about the 15 minutes of busy work to set up the research guide. I mean, yeah, I don't mind that. So this is 30 coming out because this is all it... No, it comes out as 60 of these little thingies. This comes out as 60 of those. Why is this shape double? Party Pete, thank you for a brand new Prime. Welcome. Okay, I don't get this. There's some place I made a mistake. 60. 60 here plus 60 here. That can't go into a one machine. That's the problem. How the hell do we do that? Oh, you can't do that. Okay. And Awesome Saucer, thank you for a gift up. I don't know why the Ranger... Thanks for trying this game. I'm still on the fence on what about... Think about it. I totally understand it. There are moments like this when it's really fun, but I'm also just kind of like thinking, how are we even going to turn this into something? So this one should be able to just go in because it's only those three things. So let's get you moved into somewhere where this one can go in. Ooh, thank you. That one worked somehow. Here. And this one will also go up here. And then you are going to get some inbounds. Whew. And I click auto upgrade because of course we do. Like, I think this was a good design, and what I don't like about all of this is that here I'm producing 20 per minute, but I'm only consuming 7.5, and the rest is lost. I cannot use the rest of it. And this one as well, I'm producing 20 per minute and I'm using 7.5 and the rest is lost because it has to go into this harvester pad. It can't go into any other ones, and there's no way this harvester pad could go into other builds. Then I'd sort of have to have this harvester pad and this harvester pad being the same one. I mean, I guess I can do that. I guess I have to do that actually. So kill that. and this just feels really wrong to do it this way. There. So now this one is idle and empty. Could I store it from extra buffer? That doesn't help me because the problem is still that I can't get it out somewhere. Like I can only get it out into one harvester pad. I should be able to have it into multiple harvester pad, but I guess it doesn't want to do that. Unlock and higher trajectory. So this is the cores. The cores now have to go into this one. Are we producing cores? We're producing 22.5 cores. Oh, don't know if that's good or bad. Kind of silly to have it this short distance, but this is where we build it. Blue processors. Blue processors still don't do anything. Oh, forgot the splitter. Yes, I forgot that. I need a splitter. I was thinking Captain of Industry connectors. Are you producing now? Yes. Estimated 80 per minute. Whew. Nice. So this is not it. This is just I now build blue processors, and then I have to do something with the blue processor. Data center. So I need to find the data center. Where's the data center? What's the data center? Create shards. Okay. And then the recipe is gray data shard or blue data shard. And that requires a gray data shard and then some blue data blue process. So now I need to go back a step again and create the gray data shards. So that means now I have to figure out, okay, where do I make gray data shards? I make gray data shards in gray data shards. They just come from a gray processor. So now I need to do gray processors. But the question is then, so what I'm seeing now is I'm seeing that there's a lot of stuff that still requires gray points. So I should have my gray points keep going and then have a separate one that's for the blue points. That's what I'm seeing. Like this is such a big amount that I would need to have something continuously going here. So that means I now need to figure out the gray processors, basic processing plant. And that makes basic cores into... Okay, and this one we already have done, but now we need to just go back and... Yeah, this is outdated. And that's this one. This is the processing plant, and that requires some basic cores. Do we have an advanced processing plant for the white data shards? No. I think it's this one, right? No. Advanced processing plant, yes. For white data shards, no. But that one is, this is called the advanced processing plant. But that doesn't do that. I think it is this one, is a basic core facility large. No, that makes basic cores. I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to. But the answer is no, I don't have it. But I kind of feel that this one is a good thing to do, but it's also just not something we have, so. Advanced processing plant. Yeah, so the only way that I can do it is the small processing plant, which means that I have to go back to this one. And that means this one is this one here. And this is consuming, or it's producing 60 per minute. And it's inputting 30 per minute, which is one of these designs. Outputting about 30 per minute. Okay? So that would mean like I have to build this thing plus this, which is all of this crap again. And this is the part where I'm like, what a fucking waste of time. Yeah. Because this is, one of these is 1, 2, 3, 4 minus, so that's 60. And this one is 1, 2. Okay, so that's not much here. But I need to find a space where I actually have enough of it. I could actually make it over here. How much did this one need? This needed 16, which is exactly what we have here. Maybe we can make it a little bit closer. Oop. So this is the basic course. How to upgrade. And then the other part is this one. I have a little bit tough time figuring out how, if this is a good build. Probably isn't. Probably something we could do better. my issue here is mainly just trying to figure out the ratios. So I would project that this one will output 30 per minute of the basic cores. If I look at this one, it's outputting 60, then it must be inputting 30. And then that also is 30 of these, but only half of that, which is kind of surprisingly low. No, they're both up to counting up to 6. And this is also counting up to 6. So this is also 30 of each. And this is a... Yeah, then I'm a little bit surprised why this is actually outputting at that rate. Because I'm really feeling that this is a single inbound. That means it's 15 in. Then it's 15 on either of these. And that splits again. So it becomes to 30. Then it combined back. This is just 15. Yeah, one crane should be 15. Yep. But I don't understand how this could be 30. Well, yeah, it kind of is, because this is this is a full cube, and if I'm only mining 15, like, this here is outputting 15 cubes, so no matter what we do, it can't be more than 15 coming out here. So, and if this is 15 here, how the hell is it outputting 16? Because I think I would need to build it here, right? There. Those are the 2 builds that now need to be done. To go in here. Look at me, copy pasting. And let's see. First we cut it, so if there's 30 coming in, then there's 60 coming out. That means 30 into each of these. This doubles again. So that goes up to 60. And that means when this combines, it goes 30 plus 30 goes back into 30 in total. 30 of these out. This one is so that's also correct, and this one should then be just getting the shape at 30 per minute. Good. Let's see if we can get the other one with a quick copy paste here. Okay, this one's a little bit pinched for space, so we'll see if we can untangle it a little bit. See, it's kind of twisting. And then is it like this? Is that how it's supposed to be? Let's try. The resource nodes are so satisfying to watch being set up. Oh, I find it really frustrating that it's like the same setup every time. Okay, so first thing is we cut it. Now it's this shape we're working on. So first we cut it into these shapes, and that means it comes in at 30, and then it's 60, which is 30 into each. Slice it again in half. And now 60. This one, we make the wall, which means it's 60 out here. 30 plus 30 becomes 30 in total. Goes into 2 painters. That's good. So this is the... I can't see the output, but that's like the wall over here. Okay, I'm just basically checking that I'm not having anything too big here. Okay, so right now we are then taking... I have to trace back 60 out. So this one is 30. It cuts down the middle and makes it into that flat thing. You do basically the same thing, but vertical. And that's 30 coming out, and that gets painted. So it's 30 in, 30 in. It's also 30 out. And then I can take these two. And then you are going to build the finished shape, and that's going to be 30 of these shapes. They will need to go into this one. And here, and auto upgrade, and 2 cranes. Haven't come up with symmetrical line, perfect symmetrical, so it's just what? Yeah, I mean, okay, so now this processing plant is working. This one is fully upgraded and is producing 30 cores. It's weird. And the processing plant should then get the cores inbound to make some more. We're just gonna let this build, and then once it's built, then we're bringing these in here, and then we're gonna take this and send it off. Hopefully. Ta-da. And we use 6 more to do an upgrade. It's also expensive, but we don't know. Well, it has to be done. And then after that, we are going to find something. There was this nightmare shape where we are now bringing in these processors in order to make them into data shards. 2 becomes 1 data shard. 2 data shards plus 2 of... Oh, fuck. There's a 2-to-1 ratio in. So that means that whatever I just built, I have to double it. Otherwise, this thing is running at half capacity. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen, right? Let's see what this one does. We're just waiting for this to complete, and then we'll see how much. The ratios are, they make sense, but they're also just a little bit hard to comprehend because you have to sort of maintain the, like it's 15 or 30 on the belt, plus then this one is counting in a different way. And yeah, just kind of translating it back and forth, and it's easy to miss a factor 2 somewhere. Because there's 2 different ways of calculating it. So, but anyway, it'll get, oops. It's something to get used to, I guess. So this will now make... This is just not making sense to me. Now this says estimated 40. And the other one was estimated what? 60. You estimated 60. But I'm now putting twice as much in here. And you're still just... How? Okay, we need the cores inbound. So let's try the cores inbound first. Do. 666. So this should be the same ratio of pickup. So it really should be more than 60. The investor output is exclusively calculated by the number of cranes. It has no logic for whether the actual saturate the input. Oh, okay. Okay, so I can't trust this. Okay. So let me try something to confirm that. Yeah. You're right. Thank you. That's one hell of an estimate. So, anyway, this one will now be... I don't know what it actually is producing. Building has a fixed building speed. Putting more in does not result in larger production. Are you sure? Because that's kind of opposite of what everyone else has said and what this is. It looks like it just produces. As long as you put everything in that ratio, it just produces. It's of course constrained by how fast you can put it in, but if you can put it in faster, it just produces more. That's also what I'm seeing here. Or maybe the fixed production speed is just equal to the maximum number of inputs. So it, in actual fact, it is the same thing. Okay, but this one just needs... so now we don't know how much we're actually going to make. Have the max range, of course it does. Okay, so we have to... We're fucked.
Delivery target completed.
Okay, so that works. Oh dear. Okay, so I guess... I wonder if this one could be moved. Oh, it loses the connection here. Okay, so this is the max distance. Oh, lovely. Yeah, there we go. That's... Oh, fuck. I can... So this can, no matter what, it can only do 60. Because I have a belt, so that's that. We don't know what the input is. Oh. I got this. $15. Wrong input type. What are we putting in? Gray processor. What is this one? Gray processor. Isn't that a gray processor? Oh, that definitely. Oh, right. It's merged with some other belt somewhere. So this is 60. Yeah. That's like the most aesthetic way of doing this. So we now have this one. Then each of these are consuming what? 15? And this one is producing 7.5. So we need 2 of these for one of those. Okay. Then flip. Flip. Change recipe. Blue. Change recipe. Blue. And then this one will be from this one, I guess. You are going to be linked to that one. And then this. Maybe. So I get 60 inbound and I get 30 outbound. And then it goes down here. So now we are getting this Another data shard type acquired. Interesting. The blue variant appears to carry a different kind of potential. I'm not entirely sure where it will lead, but I suspect it will open up new possibilities. Blue data shard detected. Its structure is elegant, its logic familiar. This knowledge strengthens our bandwidth and allows for further shared technologies. Connection depth increased. Good stuff. But I'm just unable to calculate this one here. It must be like 60 outbound. And if I produce 60 outbound, then I produce 30 of these shards. And then I need to consume 30 blue processors. But I produced 60. I put so much effort into producing 60 blue, right? This one. It doesn't have anything. Why does it not have anything? Okay, it's coming. This is 80 estimated output 80. And I can use well, I mean, it estimates it. I also don't get why these are, the first ones are in batches of 15, so it's 15, 30, 60. This one is suddenly 80, which is like awful from a crane limit perspective. Like, where did that come from? Or maybe it's the updates. So if I got the next update, which is what I'm going to click on now. That one. Third floor. Then it will go up to 120. And this one will auto update. Oh, it needs 12 to auto upgrade. Yeah, so it'll go to 120, which is just kind of insane, right? Like, we spent so much time on getting this to 180, but in order for us to get 180, to use 180 blue processors, we would need 240 of the gray processors. And we have 60. So we need this thing multiplied by 4 just to support this one. Yeah. You didn't put back the belt you just destroyed. Oh, thank you. That's one. What's that about? Yeah, that's consolidated belt. Thank you. Let's see this one. This one should auto upgrade when we get to 12. There we go. Oh, nice to see that this is the one. Blue refinery. The advanced cores. This one should also upgrade. Unlock heights. No. Oh, okay, so this can't upgrade. Okay. But this one anyway. Advanced processing plant. This one's upgraded and then it'll get to 120, which is completely useless. But yeah. This is so disheartening. Because not just I mean, if we just like this one copy is relatively easy, right? And you know, like this one's also something we just copy it, right? But there's also the part that this is 4. And this is another 4 miners inbound, so that is 8. 8 of these. And I need, that's for 1, and I need 4 times as much. So now I need 32 belts, which means I need to find a place that has 128 mining locations just to build this. Like, that seems a lot. Impressive work, Daedalus 1. Your factory has reached a scale where localized transport is no longer optimal. The colony recommends integrating freighter transportation to improve throughput. Updated freighter controls have been added to the manual. Cool. Now I can see what the point of this one is, that you actually sort of, the harvester needs to grab from multiple locations. Here's the yellow paint. It's a little bit out of the way. I guess the one we want the most is the freight hub is the one that we're saying. Transport that allows for distributing massive amounts of items to other islands by air. This is the one we want, but it's gonna take a while. And then mining speed. Mining speed is also nice. Extractor speed. Furnace speed. Oh, the furnaces. Ah, right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, this will help. Double up. You can check production view for red buildings. What does that mean? As in for the yellow paint? What? I played Factory. Factory? Loved it. I also played Sad Choose Factory. I liked it a lot. Should I try this game? Or are there other games I don't know of yet? Don't try this one. This is not the one. If you want to game something like this, then play Shapes 2 is much crisper experience. But also Dyson Sphere Program. Two full belts of gray shards, upgraded to blue-yellow when done with gray tech. Okay, yeah, so the counter. Yeah. But it now seems like I have to, like, if I want this, then I need to find an island that has 128 miners, or 128 of these, which is a lot, which like none of these have. It'll be like several islands to be tapped. Like this one has, I don't know, this is 16, this is 32, and this is 16, so that's 64. So I need 2 of these islands just to do that. It's just like, what the hell? What the fuck? Like, I don't know. It's like, if you want me to scale up, then give me resources. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty done with this game. It's just not really. I'm not really liking it. As you can probably tell, like there's something. There's just something about, for example, when we played Shapes 2, it was just, this was good. Before we played Captain of Industry, I was like, but then I got into it and I was like, yes. And then it had like moments where I got frustrated with it, but in the grand scheme of things, it plays really well, and there's some things that I would wish was different. But here, I just feel this game is just on the one hand, like guiding me, and then goes like, no, you can't do that. But you're guiding me to build bigger. Like, no, but you can't build bigger. Like, but what am I supposed to do then? Like, oh, build modules. Like, but I don't. Yeah, it kind of feels like it's on the one hand sort of guiding me, and on the one hand it's obstructing the way in a not fun way. And this has like a lot of depth to it, and I think that it's really hard to figure out why it's just not really getting it. Yeah. I think the terrain is also like frustrating, and the resources are sort of scattered, and like this part where you sort of have to go out and look and then go like, oh, there's a little bit of resources here, there's a little bit of resource here, there's a little bit of resource here, a little bit of resource here. It's just not really my kind of style of engaging with content like this. So you don't recommend? No, I would not recommend this game. I think it can something, but I don't think it's gonna give. If you're coming in here having played Factorio and Satisfactory and looking for something else, then try Dyson Sphere Program or Shapes 2. It definitely not this one. Like there are lots of other, and I would not recommend Captain of Industry either, because that's once you've put thousands of hours into factory games and you just go like, oh, I really want to increase my blood pressure significantly, then Captain Industry is it. Can you start a new file on the free build? Not to actually play it, just to think about if it would be more suited to your preference. Maybe. This looks... Is it because I'm playing tutorial? I enabled the tutorial that it's the same? Oh, right, it's just in a nice, neat lines. Okay. Yeah, okay. I thought free build would be more... would feel less like a game, but this is just... like... yeah. It's just neatly aligned. Yeah, this seems much more... I still don't get the small ones. Yeah. Yeah, this is so much nicer. But I'm also like, on the other hand, if you're doing it like this, where each of these... oh, shut up. Where's our home island? Yeah, if you're doing it like this, you're just really signaling like you need 4 of these to go into one forge, and you need 4 forges to get in a full belt. Like, all right, why the hell do we have that? Why do we not just have one batch and then we put a miner on it and then we get the stuff? Like, it's this kind of thing where games do like this. No, I can't even copy. I can't do anything. Okay, but this block of 16 is basically one belt of polyblock. Cool. Like, why is it not just one item here and you plop a building on and then you get one belt of polyblock out, like most games do? Instead, they not only just go, oh no, but they split it in 2 levels. They first go, here's 4 blocks that go into something that makes 4 into 1, and then that you need 4 of those builds in order to get a full belt. Like, you're not adding anything. Like, there's no interesting mechanic involved. It's just busy work. Like, because this is a patch, this is a belt, this is a belt. So I am annoyed when people or when games do this. It's exactly the same that's done here. They take 6 of these to fill up a belt. Okay, so they happen to put 6 of them next to each other. Yeah, or you could just, like, just put 1 and then say that's a full belt. That's the kind of thing where I'm like, where I think game developers, they it's the space exploration part. More steps doesn't make it better. Each step should have a choice and some variables and some choices and some trade-offs. Like, otherwise it doesn't really make sense. But that's great. That's great gameplay. Yeah, but it doesn't work on me. It annoys me, especially because you then go like, now I need to find 128 of these little blips that I have to then manually connect in order to get something. So I think this would definitely been better to play for sure. But it's, yeah, yeah. I think it's a little bit of a shame, and maybe I'll do some let's play on. It kind of makes more sense with blueprints with this layout. Yes, like as far as I can tell, if you look at this. Yeah, they don't have like annoying terrain. Okay, I thought free play would be a different would be like more like just one big flat platform, but it's not. This is actually still feels like the game. It's just takes some of the annoyance out. It's much easier to hook these up into lines. They're going to be straight into the lines. This is much more enjoyable. So I actually would say that with this setup here, I would probably make a let's try for YouTube just to sort of showcase it. And who knows? Maybe it's popular, and maybe I'll get hooked on it when I can just sit and tinker with it myself. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm gonna wrap up the stream today. So yeah, so it is an early access. It's probably not a massive development team. I think there are some really good elements to it. I think this map is much better. So thank you. Who was that? Said that? Buckmons. So thank you for highlighting this. I thought it would be more like free play, like just a test world. But this is still gameplay. It's just much nicer to work on, and it's much easier to sort of imagine that you can build some nice designs here. Yeah. But it does seem a little, I don't know, maybe not repetitive. I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure it out once I've spent some time on it myself for a let's try, and maybe it'll end up being like a couple of episodes. Who knows? The next stream will be on Sunday, and that will be on will be Captain of Industry. I have recorded an episode that will be coming out before that, probably on Saturday, and I really want to get a fast breeder reactor. I want to get the space probes. I want to get the asteroid landing thingy, and I am also just really like, it seems like for me that some new part of that game has opened up when considering how trains and contracts interact. I think those two things, like ships going out with contracts, you bring stuff over, and then you get a massive amount of raw resources that you put on a train, and the train goes to your factory that then produces titanium, aluminum, steel, copper, whatever, quartz, sand, and I think that it sort of lends itself that, oh, this is how you probably scale it a little bit more when you're not sort of always running out of resources from the map. I think maybe kind of, but I think it's really interesting to combine contracts and trains. That's a really good combination. So that's something I'm exploring in the next episode, getting some new contracts and more trains involved. Not like a full overhaul to train base, because that can't really be done at this point, but it's making a lot of sense, because you get a lot of stuff coming in on a train on these contracts. But the issue has always been, you get them in on a ship, and how do you get them from the ship to your factory? And when it's very high quantity, and then trains is a great way to do that. And you can bring it to your factory, it can make stuff, and then you can sort of have your factory do that. So, and also, like, I would say that for the next update for Captain Industry, whenever we start a new series, it's definitely going to be heavily leaning into contracts and trains. So that's interesting. So now we're exploring that, as well as exploring the end game, which will be on Sunday. So thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you guys hopefully on Sunday, and do check out on YouTube as well for maybe an episode of this or two. Good night.